Hi, I'm Tim Henman, and this is my Reddit AMA. First question, please can you reveal your skincare routine? You don't seem to have aged since you were playing. Well, that's very kind of you, but I have to say I have absolutely no skincare routine. I don't use anything on my skin apart from water. Who was the toughest opponent you faced? The toughest player I ever played against was Roger Federer, just the most complete player. First serve, second serve were so good, and all aspects of his game, you never really felt that there were, any weaknesses, any areas to attack. So definitely Federer was the best player, the most complete player that I ever played against. Who's the GOAT in your opinion, men and women? For me, in the women's game, it's a difficult one. I'm going to go with Martina Navratilova. I'm going to test my knowledge of the game, but I want to say she won 167 singles titles and about the same in doubles. It might be 166, it might be 168, but she won a lot. On the men's side, it's down to a numbers game, and for me it's Novak Djokovic. When you look at his record, winning all the Grand Slam titles on numerous occasions to give him a total of 23. You look at the weeks at number one, you look at the Masters 1000, he is just absolutely incredible, and I think we're so fortunate to have him still in the game. He's had the most amazing rivals with Federer and Nadal, who are certainly in that conversation, but for me the two GOATs are Martina Navratilova and Novak Djokovic. I really enjoyed watching you go deep at Wimbledon. What would you say was the biggest wall to your advances there? Pete Sampras was someone that I played quite a lot in my career. I played him in the final of Queens. I played him in two Wimbledon semi-finals in 98 and 99, and he was at that stage the best grass court player of all time. He won 7 Wimbledons, and he was probably the best player I played on grass at that stage. So in terms of someone blocking my path to the Wimbledon final, it was Sampras on those two occasions. What match would you personally say was your pinnacle of playing the sport? Wow, it's difficult. I think in my career I probably played on the main tour close to 800 matches. I mean, I could pick a couple of bizarre ones. One of the matches that I enjoyed the most was when I made the semi-finals of the French Open, and not many people would remember, but in the third round I played Gallo Blanco, and he was a very good clay court player. And for me, when I reflect on all the different skills I used in that match, whether it was serve and volley on my first serve and volley on my second serve, chipping and charging, bringing him into the net, that was one of my most enjoyable matches. If I had to choose just one match, I think it would almost inevitably have to be around Wimbledon because of playing on centre court and having the support that I always had. So I think with what Federer went on and achieved in the sport, for me, to have beaten him in the quarterfinals in 2001 on centre court is a good memory. Having said that, I'm going to change it again. I think the best tennis I ever played was probably in the Masters series, the Masters 1000 in Paris. I'd lost in 3 Masters 1000 finals before, and this was perhaps going to be one of my last chances to win. So in a very long-winded way, I will say the pinnacle of my sport was Paris Masters in 2003, I think. Biggest what-if match tournament? Yeah, that's a pretty easy one for me. It would be 2001 semi-final at Wimbledon, where I was playing Goran Ivanisevic, and we started on the Friday. I was a little bit lucky to win the second set. He was up a set, and then when I won the second set on the tie-break 7-6, Goran, I think, was pretty disappointed and frustrated that he lost that, and I won the third set 6-love. I won that set in 14 minutes, and it was probably the quickest set of my career, and then I was up 2-1 in the fourth set, which was on serve. There were no breaks, but it started to rain, and there was no doubt that I had a lot of momentum at that stage. It carried on raining for the rest of the day. We had to come back and play again on Saturday. We resumed play and went with serve to the 4-set tiebreak, which Goran won on this occasion. And then at 3-2 in the fifth, it started raining again, so we had to come back on the Sunday. 3-2 in the fifth, Goran broke my serve to get that one break and won it 6-3 in the fifth. So if I could have, one match again, it would definitely be that semi-final, because, Goran was a good friend of mine, but he was someone that I liked playing. I think prior to that match, we'd played 4 times on the tour, and I'd beaten him all four times. So that would definitely be one I'd have another go at. How many times a week does someone shout, "Come on, Tim," at you? I would say at least a couple of times. Sometimes when I was playing, it was probably a bit more annoying, but now when I hear it in the street or in the traffic jam or in the supermarket, I find it quite amusing. If you were to build the perfect player, whose forehand, backhand, serve, net game and mental strength would you choose? So forehand, I would go for Federer. Backhand, I would go for Djokovic. Serve, I would probably go for Ivo Karlovic, but if I were to take a player perhaps of normal height, I'm going to go for Wayne Arthurs, just to see what people think about that. Net game, I would take Edberg, and mental strength, I would take Nadal. So that's it. Thanks so much for sending in all your questions, and I hope you enjoyed my Reddit AMA. And don't forget, you can watch live and exclusive coverage of the US Open right here on Sky Sports.